You are watching Gouche Live featuring Paul Rosen. I'm doing solo. Yes, I am. We've got a great show coming up. I'll tell you what, the Rink of Dreams. Barry Shelley and the boys will be joining us from a big event called the Rink of Dreams Winter Classic. Yes, sir. It's still going on down south in Cooperstown. We'll talk to our founder of the Rink of Dreams, Barry, in a few minutes, along with his good buddy, Jim Bolen. James, we'll call him James Bolen. And you'll know him, obviously, from the movie Slapshot. He was a goalie that played for the Patriots against Yvonne Barrette. We'll find out a lot more about that. But first, I want to tell you, last night, AHL has brought this. This was brought to my attention from Barry. Henderson Silver Knights. The game was canceled between the San Jose Barracudas and, of course, the Silver Knights. Halfway through the game, a player tested positive. I'm not sure how that happens. How does a player do they test during the game? Love to know that. So I'd like to hear about that. But it's been canceled. And isn't that what the world's about right now? We're just, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Hey, the Canucks, Vancouver Canucks are still trying to find their identity. Obviously, Green, he's got this culture of commitment and toughness and grittiness. And the Vancouver Canucks have yet to bring and show us that. But I know Greener will get that happening. How about Connor McDavid? The first one was spectacular. The second one, just as spectacular. It was incredible what he did to the Toronto Maple Leafs last night. Not only scoring 2 goals, eventually the game winner in overtime from a great pass from Leon Draisaitl. But that first goal that he scored, end-to-end, 1-on-4, beating Muzzin, I feel bad for him. He beat Riley in the first one in Toronto, beat Muzzin and a couple other Leafs that were just standing around. Man, pretty. Question comes out, why was Nylander up against Draisaitl and Hyman against Draisaitl and McDavid in the overtime? Why didn't he go with Marner and, of course, Matthews? Power to power, it's 3-on-3, let them run, let's see who takes it. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. So he scores a pair. And, of course, the Leafs looked like they were standing still to Connor McDavid. All right, listen, great show today. As I mentioned to you, we've got Barry Shelley coming up, the creator, organizer, player in the Rink of Dreams. Barry, what's going on?
Hey, Gooch, what's up?
Just living the dream, man. Just living the dream. Hey, thank you for organizing not only the show today, getting us a couple of the boys from your crazy event. I love it. You know, I do the Ice Hockey Classic in Australia. It's not called winter because it's never winter down there. We do it in New Zealand, and we're really, really excited about having Jim Bolen. And now I see John Gillespie has joined us. He played in the played for the Johnstown Chiefs, and he's going to be telling us some stories about all the fun and games that went on both the Slapshot movie. And of course, we were waiting for the captain of Youngblood, George Finn. Unfortunately, he's a little bit technically challenged. That's okay. We'll talk a little bit about him and we'll ask the boys about him. But he played Carl Racki. And I'm going to tell you right now, Barry, I never watched, there it is. I never watched from the Belleville Bulls. I never watched the game. I never watched the movie, Youngblood. I only remember him kicking the puck up to himself and Rob Lowe. It's Rob Lowe, right?
Right.
Yeah. And him with that cute girl. I saw a couple of those scenes. And that's it. I didn't watch the movie in full. I'm going to do that before we see you on February the 13th. So I know we're going to do a live broadcast on that day from the Rink of Dreams. So enough said, that's February the 13th. Barry, before we bring in the boys, talk to me about what's going on.
Well, this has been in the works ever since I started the Rink of Dreams up in my attic. Every summer I hold a reunion of former minor league players that comes. George, who played Racki, he found out about it 3 years ago, and he's been coming up every year since then. And it was a couple years ago when he said how great it would be to have a game on the pond. So for the last 3 years, I've been planning on it, but the pond never froze or, one thing led to another, and we couldn't have it. But this year it's coming through. So I decided this year I'm going to have it. So I've been getting banners, flags to put all around the pond, trying to make it like NHL Winter Classic, if you want to, if I can say that. But it won't be big, but I'm happy, and that's one. I was just going to have a game, but then I realized, well, since George's been coming up for the last couple of years, and he was in Youngblood, and I've had 4, 5, 6 players that were in the movie Slapshot. Why not have a little friendly game between Youngblood and Slapshot?
Well, George is going to be the captain, of course, of Youngblood, and we've got the captain from Slapshot right here. Why don't we bring it up? James, a.k.a. Jim Bolen. What's going on, James?
I'm here.
Well, I've heard you're not usually wear a mask, and in those days you didn't. So that's why we can't see your picture, because you're doing, I think it's called a facelift or something. Is that true?
Yeah, close enough. Take a look in the mirror, Cyclops.
Hey, listen. Hey, James, listen, I'd love to be coming down. Obviously, I'm in Toronto, Canada. We're not allowed over the border because the wall's too high, and I can't get a ladder to get over the fence. So I'd love to come down and see you. But, Jim, this has got to be an honor, being the captain of the Slapshot team. Not only have you played against one of our good friends, he's toured with me all across the world, Yvan Barrette. Denny Lemieux from the movie Slapshot. You played the goalie for the Patriots in the movie. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, when we took the very first take, and it was at the Utica Auditorium, they walkie-talkied back while we're getting ready to go on the ice. They go, Jim Bolen, you're going to go fight the backup goalie, Ronnie Dockin. And I never was going to fight Yvan Barrette. So we got our orders when they let us out on the ice, and we're warming up and we're doing the circles at the half ice. And if I'd known that Carlson was going to sucker punch that guy, I would have stayed close to that guy and getting the shot. So, when the fight breaks out, I'm looking for Ron Dockin. And he's over there in the corner, so I go skating toward him, and next thing I know, bam, I get pulled right by my collar. I'm turning around, it's Paul Newman. Oh my God, when is that supposed to happen? And I almost decked him because he pulled me that hard. I almost forgot myself.
Hey, listen, James, I've heard that he's got a hell of a salad dressing.
I wouldn't know anything about a salad.
Hey, listen, James, obviously the rumor is that you did have a little tussle. Was it a pillow fight?
No, it was, oh my God, it seemed like we were fighting for 10 minutes. And I went down because he grabbed me. You've probably seen the pictures that Barry has. I sent him.
Yeah, I'm going to pull them up.
And when I got back up, I let him, we started tossing around, throwing punches and everything. And we're dancing around. He says, I got a pulled muscle. I got a pulled groin. Let's fall down on the ice. So I said, yeah, okay, no problem. I picked him up. Boom, down on the ice he went. And I just sat on top of him and just started throwing him, But that never made it into the movie.
Yeah, not many guys could tell that story. Listen, we've got a good friend of yours, John Gillespie, with us too. Here he is. I can't add him. Where is he?
Oh, there I am.
John, what's going on, kid? How do you say your first name?
John, J-O-N. None of that European crap.
I know, they forgot the H.
No, my mother said there's enough J-O-H-N's in Ireland already.
All right, listen, you played in numerous, I love this one, played in numerous minor team leagues, and also for the Johnstown Chiefs.
Original team, baby, 1988.
Unfortunately, you lost your father, obviously, to a heart attack, and you had to go back and take care of family business. You played in the Utica Comets, and they played last night, actually. So talk to us a little bit about coming through and playing and getting the opportunity to be a part of the Johnstown Chiefs.
Well, I mean, it was great. Scotty Ritu is a name I'm sure you know. We drove him and Larry Rasconi and I took a little Isuzu pickup truck out of Western Massachusetts and headed for Johnstown. We didn't really know what to expect. We ran into a drunk driver with his lights off on the way down the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Scared the hell out of us. Scotty Ritu saved our lives. And we get over to, close to Johnstown, and we look up and there's a huge banner that says Johnstown Chiefs, aggressive hockey is back in town. And it sure was. We had first game, 5 fights in the first 10 minutes. Pretty much set the stage, and we beat the Carolina Thunderbirds into submission that night. But I'm just so proud and happy to be a part of this whole thing with the Rink of Dreams. And I can't say enough about Barry and all he's done. And it's going to be an honor in a couple of weeks to get out there on the ice and play for the Chiefs.
Now Barry knows me, as I mentioned to you while you were in the green room. I'd love to be coming down. I just love the movie. Of traveled with the Hanson brothers to Germany through some of my charity work. They've been absolutely fantastic. Yvonne Barrette, who you know from the movie Slapshot too, just great people. Yeah.
Good
hey, James, talk to us about the fact of being a superstar movie actor. What's the difference between being a hockey player and being an actor?
Well, I tell you, Rack, he's trying out for some of the same teams that I was playing on, and Mohawk Valley Comets were one. And they certainly they were chomping at the bit, as I would say, to get at George. And they wanted to make sure that he knew the difference between a movie hockey player and a real hockey player. But George was a real hockey player, played in the Ontario League for 4 years. He's got good numbers. And, I don't think it bothered George that much. He's a great guy. But I have to tell you a very funny James Bolen story, if I could.
I'm interested to hear it.
All right, Mr. Bolen.
No, don't forget. Hey, hang on, John. I got to tell you right off the bat, I'm the producer today, too. My producer, he takes Sundays off. I don't know where the disclaimer is. All right, so
I will not say anything that cannot be broadcast over FAA guidelines.
All right, it's PG. All right, here we go.
All right, Mr. Bolen. I was talking to my buddy Daryl Sittler the other day, and he said he wished you made it to the NHL, so he could have maybe scored more points than he did off Reese.
Oh my God, that's not well. I played with his brother. God love him. I guess he's passed away now.
Yeah,
he was at Syracuse for several seasons.
Yeah. He, it's funny how the bloodline. My another good friend of mine is named Kelly Park, and his dad is Brad Park, and we play up here in Vermont. And he lives up here in Vermont. I live in New Hampshire, but we played on the same team for a couple of years. And I always used to say to him, God, the frickin' genes take at least another generation before they regenerate. So,
Yeah.
He just never got there. He's still a dangler, fancy, trash talker on the ice, Kelly Park. Yeah. But can't really back it up too much.
James, you got to tell Terry what's your nickname? What was your goalie nickname?
Leaky.
Leaky. That's a great name for a goalie.
Hey, listen,
Dave Reese already has that patented.
James, I actually heard about you. Aren't you the guy that was? I think you were playing for Syracuse. You went out to try and stop a bus in the middle of the road, and it went through your legs.
Oh yeah, went right through the 5-hole. The mirror hit my knee, but other than that.
So tell us about how did you get the name Leaky? Like, I know you're a goalie. Come on, honestly, who gave you that nickname? I don't like him.
Well, trying to remember what year it was. It was probably 1970. I was still in high school. And I used to skip school and go out and practice with the Blazers. And I'm just a kid, I'm only 16, 17 years old. And they're blasting these shots right at me. And I'm, bang. I don't even have half the equipment I should have had. And the puck would hit me. and like go right through me and just roll slowly into the net. It would just leak.
I
into
love those.
Yeah. Hey, John, you scored a lot like that, I'm told. Hey, listen,
Mostly empty men.
I think we have a picture of you up on screen. I don't know if you see that, James.
Yep, that's it.
We can see why they call you Leaky. There's a big gap in between those Cooper goal pad you're wearing. Tell us about Northland hockey sticks. Like who?
No. Those are Kineski's, mister. Those are Pop Kineski's finest pads right there.
All right, I'm not a goalie. I only scored in you guys.
Yeah, okay.
Talk to us about the wood stick. Have you advanced yet to the composite, or are you still chopping them out down in the forest?
No, I won't. I have not used a composite stick. I won't. I like the wooden sticks.
How are you finding them? Are they still on the market?
You can buy them still. They're expensive, but you can still buy them. Yes, you can.
All right.
It's the only thing keeping Christian brothers alive.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, listen, I got a couple pictures on the side here. I'm just going to pull up. I don't know who they're of, so you guys can help me out here. There's a good picture of who do we got?
That's me and Scotty Ritu. After we won the not the Stanley Cup, the Slapshot Cup.
That does not look like the Stanley Cup.
It definitely was not the Stanley Cup. But we had a great weekend there. All the boys came, and Barry, I just want to read a list off for you here, if I could.
All right,
for guys that are going to be coming next year. We got some real good ones here that I hope to bring in next year. We got Sam Faraci, Joey DeMitchell, Rick Boyd, Jerry Zachariah, Scotty Ritu, Steve Plaskin, Harold Oates, Bob Delaney, the beautiful Mr. Rob Hertzak, Dwight Boss. We got Toby O'Brien and Brock Kelly. So I think I'll have a pretty good team next year, and maybe we'll let James play goal.
Hey, listen, I want to ask you guys. Obviously, it's going to be Youngblood versus Slapshot. We all know who was the better movie.
Yes, indeed.
I'm going to ask you that, Johnny. Which one do you think?
Oh, God, come on. Not even close. Although I did think that George Finn's performance was the best of anybody in Slapshot. Yeah. He outacted both Swayze and Rob Lowe.
Yeah, listen, I want to ask you, I saw highlights. I mentioned this earlier to Barry, and I really apologize. I have not seen Youngblood in its entirety. I only saw a couple scenes. So last night I was watching some of the X-rated trailers that they had of Robbie Lowe with that beautiful young lady. And I thought it was a hockey movie, for God's sakes. But Racki, Racki, I think. Yeah. That's George, right?
Rack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the Rack.
He cross-checked
Patrick Swayze.
No, I thought it was Rob Lowe right at the beginning on the face-off.
Oh, yeah.
Am I right?
It was multiple cross.
He was trying out for the team. Rob was trying out for the team. They both were, and they only had one position open, and but if you only seen that, you have to see in the locker room when the coach told Rob he made the team. And Racki went off. He stormed out. He demolished the locker room.
Well, you know what I liked about that scene? One of the scenes, and some guy, as the coach is doing his speech, one guy's doing his hair.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's a bad move, and I don't have that problem anymore.
I was going to say, three guys other than me, I have a problem. Oh, yeah, thank you, Barry. And that's why Jim's not on. He just doesn't want to show his curlies.
James, talk to us. Over your shoulder with all the hair?
Oh, my God, it's bad.
I still got it.
James,
yeah.
Some words of wisdom just for a moment, guys. I won't take up. But, yeah.
All right, who do I got here?
The blonde hair made I used to go down to Carolina and Virginia, and they'd yell at me, "You's goddamn hippie." Hippie. Of course, they were very cultured fans down there. No, those two buildings, Virginia and South Carolina.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they knew what hockey was. They just came for a fight.
Yeah, exactly. Who's up on the screen right now, Barry?
That's John, isn't it?
Yeah, it's me.
With
Oh, come
hair.
on, that's
With
actually a
hair,
good
with a little bit of
interview.
hair.
All right, here's a
Yep.
great shot.
Oh,
Barry the Snake Shelley, United
Oh,
Air Force.
yeah. That was me in Korea. I
Hey,
was
I'm trying to.
I know
stationed
they
in
have lights
Korea.
on for you.
We didn't have a base team or no one played hockey there. So I had a Korean newspaper and I saw a little ad with hockey players and it was all in Korean. So they said it's up in Seoul. So I took an hour bus trip to Seoul, got off the bus, went in a taxi cab and just pointed at that picture. And he took me to where it was. It was a university. So it was a game. So I just sat there and watched it, and I got this schedule. And every time I was off, I'd get on the bus, go up there, take the taxi cab to the university, which is about 20, 30 minutes away. They take me back to the Army base, and I take my bus to the Air Force base, and I got to know the coaches and players. Most of them spoke pretty good English, and I told them I played. They asked if I'd like to skate with them. So it was just an exhibition against another team. They asked if I would like to play, and I said, yeah. So they let me on the ice.
Hey, James, talk to me about the opportunity you playing for the Patriots, and of course, Yvonne Barrett playing. Did you guys actually play a game? Was there an actual game played, or was this just movie stuff going on? Jim? We kind of lost Jim there for a second. I think John's gone off.
I'm back.
Hey, Jim.
Sorry.
Hey, Jim, pay your Wi-Fi bill, kid.
Oh, supper.
Oh,
So could you tell us, were there actual games played? Were you in games against Yvonne Barrett, or were these just scenes from a movie? There was no actual games played, right?
No, there weren't any games like that. It was business. It was we took the scene in Slapshot for the brawl before the national anthem. We did that over 12 times. It was just tedious.
And so, out of all these scenes that you had, which one did you enjoy the most? Like, is there somebody that you just said, obviously Paul Newman, we know that's cool to meet him. Is there anybody else that was in there that you never knew about and got a chance to meet him and said, wow, that was cool?
Well, probably Johnny Upton.
Yeah, he's
the scenes that he was in. Now that we were when we were together, we were only there for 3 days.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to see all the teams and guys that were in the movie. We'd get together for our little segment, and then go away, and that was the end of that. So, and it was all over this, the Northeast that we did that.
So, John, you played obviously in different leagues. You played for the Toronto. I think it says here you played under Joe Selinsky and Bill Horton. Did you play for the Toronto Marbles?
I actually I was up there for a while, short time.
Okay.
Didn't quite make it. It was one of the few first Americans to go and give it a shot. But I'll tell you the story. It'll take a short time.
Fantastic.
I was born and raised in a town called South Hadley, Massachusetts. Now they had a hockey team, and they were very upset with me that I didn't want to play on it. They weren't very good, and I had an opportunity to go to play for a great man named Gary Dineen, God rest his soul, with the Springfield Olympics, and that's where I met my best friend, one of my best friends in the world, Scott Racki, and I played for Coach Dineen until he could no longer tolerate my lack of back checking, and also no opportunity to go to college. So they cut me loose, and I figured, what the hell, I'll go up to Toronto and try out there. Did play for the Marlboros for a few exhibition games, but never made the big show. And I'm certainly, I met guys like Steve Thomas, Dave Reed, Alan Bester. It's an absolute pleasure. And one of my greatest friends still, I hope he's listening tonight. I'll give him a shout out. A beautiful man who runs a Zamboni still up in Toronto. And for the life of me, I can't remember his name.
That's all right. Hey, listen, you mentioned Al Bester, so you actually met a real goalie.
Yeah, yep, I did. Son of a bitch, we'd shoot for Cokes, it was called. We'd all, there'd be 3 or 4 of us, and we'd have a shootout contest. And Best, man, he'd snag me every time. I'm going top shelf. He knows that. I'm going far right, top shelf, right-handed shot. And Best, I ended up usually buying the Cokes. I can tell you
yes,
that.
no question. Shooting at the cookie jar. Hey, listen, you played for the '88 Jonestown Chiefs. So how exciting was that?
It was incredible. I mean, I love my coach. We're still such very good friends. I went up last year and I met him on the coast there, and near Quebec is what my friend Dwight Boss calls it. But
all right, near Quebec.
Went up and had dinner with Joe and caught his services the next morning. He's a pastor now, and I came to the services, and he did a great, incredible service. So I just want to say a very much thank you, Joe Solinsky. I love you for putting up with my lack of back checking. God bless you, sir. And he's the man,
Hey, James, talk to us.
Bill Horton expected me to back check,
Okay.
Come on, what's that? I got a pretty haircut.
There's no back checking in hockey. That's why you got a goalie like James. James, how did you get into the movie Slapshot?
Well, we were sitting in the locker room, and the representatives from the movie came in. They took a little short bio, and they took a picture. And we never heard of anything after that. It was crazy. It was months, 5-6 months later. My mom gets a phone call, and it was Paul Newman's brother. He was a producer, and they says, "Well, you got to be here at such and such a date, and you're in the movie." Oh, wow, that's cool. Well, the reason I got in the movie, they were going to take Jacques Caron, who was a ex-NHL goaltender, and he was the goalie coach for the New Jersey Devils up until a couple of years ago. He was supposed to be in the movie. They picked him and not me. But he had a fire at his cattle ranch, and that place mysteriously burned to the ground, and best $5,000 I ever spent. But he had to tend to business at his ranch, so he couldn't make the movie, so that put me in.
Your mic's off, Gooch.
Sorry about that. You know what? I forgot to put my glasses on. Hey, James, so you actually burnt the building down so you could get into the movie?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. And you haven't been arrested yet, but I think you are now going to be. Hey, listen, Francois Landerville is with us. He's Slapshot, Youngblood, Miracle, On Ice, Mystery Alaska. All great movies. And, of course, there was The Goon, and he trained some of the guys in it. James, how much did you have to learn how to act? Or were you just natural?
Oh, we didn't. We just said, do what you normally do. There wasn't any, well, that's poor York. I knew him well. None of that stuff.
Yeah. So they didn't demand you to go to acting school or anything like that?
No.
They just said, hey, be you?
Yep, just go out and be normally when the fight started. Of course, we all know how to fight.
Now, were the fake fights, or did some guys get excited?
Well, they were fake fights, but like I said, we did it over 12 times, and I hit Ron. Ron hit me. We accidentally hit each other a couple times during the struggles. So some of that blood was real.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Were there any stitches that were required?
No,
Listen-
no, it wasn't that vicious, but
Okay. Good friend of ours, Steve McNeil, shouting up. He grew up with George Finn. George Finn will be here on February 13th for the Rink of Dreams Winter Classic. Barry, talk to me how you came up with this idea.
That's been in the making for years. First, it was the Rink of Dreams, and for the past 3 summers, I've held a reunion during the weekend for all the former anybody who played the game of hockey. And I don't care if they made the NHL, OHL, minor leagues. I never got that far. So to me, they're all heroes to me. So every summer they'd come and spend the weekend. I'd show them all the items I had, which many of them there. And then it was 2 years back. It was James or Leaky and George came along with a former Johnstown Jet legend, Reggie Kent. He had his number retired there, and they all came. They said, you should really plan on having an outdoor event. So for the past 3 years, I've been planning on having an outdoor, pond hockey game. But every year it seems it's either too warm or something came up and no one could get here. But this year, it finally is coming to, and I'm just on pins and needles right now, trying to get everything, for it to be good and hoping. And I'm like this even during the summer. For the week before they arrive, I'm so afraid that someone's going to be disappointed. I try to do all I can, and now my very first outdoor event, I'm just going haywire, trying to make sure everything is right so they enjoy themselves, and I think it's going to be great.
It's going to be fantastic. Hey, listen, Barry, what do you got to worry about? I did a big event in Wellington, New Zealand. Everything was perfect. We were supposed to have really cold weather, and oh no, the rink never froze. 15,000 people, wind blew, and the whole set of boards came down. That's all you got to look forward to, and try and pay back all those 15,000 people.
And I have to bring up a point, Gooch. I'm sorry. Francis, he posted a while back that he taught the actors for the movie Goon.
Yes.
Just to let him know, I do have a section for that movie up at the rink. And I have a picture of Doug Smith. He played the leading, it was based on his life while he was in the minors. He sent me a signed picture along with a signed movie jersey. So I just wanted to let him know that I do have the movie Goon represented along with all the other movies up in the rink.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, the Field of Dreams, now we got the Rink of Dreams. We're really excited about that. James, do you get out on the ice often?
Nope, not really. I've had some medical issues, and that's kept me away. But we just finished the rink in the son's yard at his house, and I'll be skating on that next week or so.
Hey, John, do you get, sorry, John, just 1 second. John, do you get on the ice at all?
I do. I actually skated last Tuesday, and I'm going to skate this Tuesday and the next Tuesday, try and get my ass in shape for this whole thing.
So once a week is basically all you can handle, or that's all they'll let you on the ice?
It's the only rink that's open in the state of Vermont right now, Gouche.
Okay. Right.
So I do have a story I'd like to share with you. A very dear friend of mine was the ex-goaltender, Toby O'Brien. Of course, you probably know Toby's name. He's been worked with the Islanders, and it's been all over. And he was a detective, believe it or not. The man was a detective. And the boys were all going out one night, and I was like, I don't really feel like it tonight, and a couple of them, come on, let's go. They grabbed him by the scruff of the neck, and we went, and I was talking to Toby at the bar, and a girl across the way, he was looking at her, he's like, she's so beautiful. I'm like, go up and ask her. And I says, he wouldn't do it. He was too scared to do it. And I walked right over there and I said, ma'am, that lady over there, that gentleman over there would like to meet you. And he's the nicest guy in the world. they ended up being married and having 3 kids together.
Oh, that's great.
And, that was, I guess, my reason that I needed to go out that night or something. And
I'll tell you, hockey is family, right? We're all in it together, and that's
absolutely.
just a great story. Hey, listen, we've got Anthony all the way from Tasmania, Australia, and he's telling us all about the fact that it's just too warm to do an outdoor rink. It's wet and windy, and in their winter, it's always raining. But he still loves the idea of building a rink of dreams. And I promise you, Anthony, one day we'll get down there and we'll build a rink and we'll have a game in Tasmania. I could just imagine those people would be so excited about you coming down, Barry, and building your rink. Talk to us about building the rink outdoor. What is it exactly?
It's a pond. It's a huge pond. James have seen it. It's a huge pond. It takes about 4 or 5 hours at one time to shovel all the snow off it. And, I got the goals, and I was going to put up boards, but plywood costs so much, and so I just decided to pile all the snow up and use them as boards, because I know at James' age, I didn't want to take a chance on breaking any of his brittle bones, body checking him against the wooden boards, so they'll just be snow.
Hey, are we playing pond hockey rules? No lifting?
James, that's what I'm concerned about. I think Barry's going to have to buy a bunch of pucks, because you ain't saying, and they're going off into the wilderness. Hey, listen, and the way John shoots, he thinks he's hunting for ducks. Can you tell me, John, can you still do a slap shot?
I'm sorry, Barry. What was the question?
Can you do a slap shot?
Yeah, I can. I'm planning it. On warm-up, it's going to be nothing below the head.
James, are you concerned about these guys taking advantage of your brittle bones?
No.
I just want to back up goalie. That's all. I just want to say that right now. I've appointed myself the assistant captain of the team, so if he gives up 4 in the first 5-10 minutes, he's out.
Well, he's not playing goal.
Don't worry, I sent you down a shooter tutor.
You gotta earn it, kid. You gotta earn it.
You got it. All right, listen. It's next. It's on February the 13th. Is that not just the day before Valentine's?
Yeah, we're gonna spread love that day.
Well, did you say give blood?
No, love. And blood too. Who bleeds, who starts bleeding, has to go to center ice, because I didn't paint a red circle for center ice. So if anyone starts bleeding, just head to center ice and bleed there.
All right. Hey, James, just want to ask you my final question to you. Obviously, being a part of this, what does it mean? Obviously, Barry Shelley, we know how passionate he is about these type of things, and we're so honored to have him do what he does, building this rink of dreams. What does it mean to you for him to continue on? Obviously, the movie Slapshot was filmed 2 days before Christ was born. I think it's older than dirt. So how cool is it for him to keep on keeping this dream alive, for you guys to come down and continue on meeting guys like John and George and Mike Smith and Yvonne Barrett and all the other great players and actors from the movie?
Well, like I told the reporter that came to his house, this is as close to the Hockey Hall of Fame as I will ever get in my lifetime. And to keep this dream alive, it keeps the hopes and dreams of the minor leaguers and guys like me who toiled there and tried and failed and tried and failed and tried. And it keeps us going forever. And I love the guy for that.
Yeah, absolutely. The passion is second to none. Hey, listen, James, don't worry, kid. I'm part of the Hockey Hall of Fame. I'm not in it, but I can get you tickets to it. So you can come in the Hall of Fame anytime.
What's the line in Vegas anyway?
Yes. Okay. See you later. Hey, John, if you don't mind me asking, as a player, now having this opportunity at that ripe old age of 52, plus another couple decades. How do you do it? Are you excited about going down? I'm sorry, I'm saying going down. Where are you located right now, John?
Northern New Hampshire. I'm definitely going down.
All right. And so how excited are you to go and see all the boys? Obviously, we know the Field of Dreams were people that came that weren't really still on the planet. But the Rink of Dreams are bringing real live flesh and blood. How cool is that? Because my buddy in Tasmania says, oh, February 13th, blood donation day.
Well, when you're a hockey player, every day is blood donation day.
There you go.
Do you have all your real teeth?
Absolutely not. I have a beautiful 4-tooth bridge in the front. And yeah, I'm planning on protecting that. So if anybody gets a stick up, they're going to get a visit.
All right. So, Barry, obviously you got two characters here, John and James. I love their personalities. Obviously, they've been great to the game. Obviously, the movies, Youngblood and Slapshot, are iconic. But I think what made those movies so special is to have a couple of characters like this, even though they were behind the scenes sometimes. You know, they had the Paul Newmans of the world, the Rob Lowe's of the world, and the Hanson brothers, you know, in the movie Slapshot kind of took over that whole movie without guys like James and John and all the Mike Smiths and George obviously playing Carl Racki in the movie Youngblood. It just wouldn't have been the same.
Yep.
I think Rack and I are going to do the first face-off. Should be interesting.
All right.
Yeah, I can see the line now. You want to go, pretty boy?
No, I got a real shift. I got a regular shift. I don't want to go.
Hey, hang on a sec. James,
Huh?
he's not going to say pretty boy. Let me tell you that. They cut that out of the line. They cut that out of the script. Hey, listen, Richard Orth, also one of those guys that keeps the Slapshot alive. Thank you for all that you do, Rich. We love you, guy. Your poetry's exquisite and entertaining at the same time. Really thank you for all that you do. Okay, guys, before I let you go, I want to ask you a question. Are you guys following the NHL right now? Are you big hockey fans, or do you guys knit? Not sure.
I follow it. Lately, I haven't been because I've been too busy with the pond. But yeah, I have all the subscriptions to all the minor league games, junior games, and NHL games. I try to watch as much as I can.
Hey, Barry, I got to ask you a question. You're too busy doing what at the pond? Watering it? Like what are you going to do?
Shovel it, and I still, scrape it. And I'm always the person like up at the rink. I'll spend 3 or 4 hours up there to put pictures up, and then, oh, that's not good enough. I take everything back down because I want everything to be perfect. And same with the pond. I'm trying to make,
Listen, Barry, you've got John and James. They're big boys. They can pick up a shovel. You don't have to do any more shoveling. That's why they're coming down there. Isn't it? There's no car. You got to stop the game. It's a pond. Hey, James, tell me as you're getting ready to come down, you're up or down? I can't remember. James?
Oh?
Where you live, are you up or down from
I'm over.
over here.
Central New York. So
all right. I have no idea. I still don't even know where the 54th parallel is, for God's sake.
I'm only 10 miles from Lake Ontario.
Okay, good. Thank God you were a goalie, because if you would have got a breakaway, you probably end up in the Arctic. James, honestly, out of all the people that are coming, who's the craziest one of them all? And you can't say John, and you certainly can't say Barry, because we already know that's a pre-gone conclusion.
Well, I would say if Reggie was coming, it would be a ball playing against him.
Reggie Dunlop?
No, yeah, Reggie Dunlop. No, Reg Kent.
Yeah,
Reggie Dunlop in the movie, believe it or not.
Yeah, Reggie, he was the assistant coach for the Jets, and the movie role that Paul played was based on the role that Reggie actually played. The last 2 years he played for the Johnstown Jets. He was with them for like 14, 15 years.
Right.
He was the assistant coach. So when Paul got to town, Reggie was able to teach him some moves on the ice.
Mentor.
Huh?
Mentor.
Yeah, he was his mentor all that time, and but George, you could. I wish he was on today because you could spend hours listening to his stories. Stories from the bus and hotels, and trains, in the movie. Cynthia Gibbs, he went out with her during the movie. I'll let him talk about that. But
no question. Hey, having James and John on was absolutely fantastic for me. Meeting these two guys someday, I hope maybe next year when this pandemic thing has been put in the bottle, in a Corona bottle, we will no longer have to do this sort of stuff. And I'll come down and dangle with Johnny and take some shots at James.
And we need to have Team Gucci.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on, honestly, you guys got no chance. Hey, John, tell me as you get ready to come and be a part of this great thing, what are you most looking forward to?
Well, I am just looking forward to seeing some old friends, and it's going to be a great time, no doubt. And we can't all thank Barry enough for shoveling the pond and taking care of all that stuff he does. And I'm sure if he needs an extra shovel, I'll send my wife out there, no problem. But
that's a great offer. Thank you. All right, guys. Hey, listen, can't thank you enough. On the day, February 13th. What time's the game? What's game time?
It's up in the air.
Let's say 1 o'clock.
Jim's coming down in his wheelchair. I hope he brings some extra batteries because I think last time he came down, the wheelchair died halfway down from the lake. So,
just put about
1 o'clock.
All right.
Can I add one thing before I go?
Of course you can.
All right. Well, a very dear friend of mine was Galen Head Sr. Of course, everyone knows him from the Johnstown Jets. And his son, Galen Jr., was a dear friend of mine as well. And I was in the bar one night after the game, and, he bought me a drink, threw the chip my way, and I was like, I don't know if I want it tonight or not. So I kept the chip. And turns out that a few days afterwards, I had never seen the young man that I love so much again. He was perished in a car crash.
Oh,
and Galen's son. And it was so hard. If you want to go on, you can look on my Facebook page. There's a picture of a Johnstown Chiefs and a Fort Wayne Comets. He was actually our equipment manager, and he went out to Fort Wayne and got a job there. God bless him. And he left me with the first two, the chip and the Chiefs pin. And then I never saw him again. And after that, there was a memorial service, and I saw his dad, Galen Sr., and he gave me a Johnstown Chiefs pin. It said GHJR. So I just want to, I want to remember my friend Galen. He recently passed away, Galen Head Sr., and he was a great player and a great man. And I thank you both for bringing me on. Terry, my extreme appreciation. And Barry, you too, buddy. And Bolen, get to work.
He's going to need it. All right.
Thank you, John.
Jim Bolen,
Thank you.
Slapshot. Thank you, guys. You were absolutely amazing. Stay on for second, Barry, as we wrap up. John, James, look forward one day meeting you in person.
Thank you, brother.
See you later, boys. You got it, buddy. Well, Barry, thank you. That was fantastic. Thank you for bringing on two characters. Obviously, sometimes people always want to see obviously we can't see Paul Newman. We'd love to have had him, but, and Rob Lowe, and of course, the Hanson brothers and Yvonne. But those two, what a couple of characters. You guys are going to be laughing.
When you get 4 or 5 or 6 of those typed up in the rink, I just love just staying up there past few summers, just sitting and just listening to them talk and tell their stories. And did you know today the anniversary is the 35th anniversary when Youngblood came out?
We did not know that, but thank you.
35 years.
Listen, I actually got to watch the movie before I comment on it, and I will do that. For the 13th, you and I are going to talk a little bit. We're going to get, you know what, we can even maybe try and do some play-by-play. We'll make it a lot of fun. Everybody there, February 13th, 1 o'clock in Cooperstown, where they actually play baseball. We are going to host the Rink of Dreams Winter Classic. And we can't thank Barry Shelley enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I look forward to talking to you next couple of days. You keep me informed on all the guests. You know what? Send me a list of all the players, and we'll do a couple more of these before it all comes out. Okay, bud?
Okay, Gooch. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Barry. Hey, how much fun is that? Barry Shelley, I got to tip my hat off to him. The guy's got the Rink of Dreams in his house. He's got artifacts the Hockey Hall of Fame would love to have. And of course, he pays tribute to some of those people that will never be in the Hockey Hall of Fame. But I think more importantly, everybody that's contributed, whether or not you played one shift or you played 1,000 shifts, you fell in love with this game. The reason we fell in love with this game is the reason why we go to Youngbloods and Slapshot. And remember, obviously, 1972, the Summit Series, Miracle on Ice, and of course, the great Goon, which was also hilarious. And I know they're coming out with the Mighty Ducks sequel. Really looking forward to that. Helped a lot of Australians play the game along with our good friend Nathan Walker. Awesome show again. Here's wishing everybody a great day at the Rink of Dreams Winter Classic. Youngblood was a brilliant movie. Thank you, Anthony, all the way from Australia, Tasmania. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow on Gouche Live at 4 p.m.
Let's play some hockey.